down, and a punt time coming up for Limestone.
Right now, Pioneer's going to have an excellent opportunity. Alford coming back. He's going to be standing just across the 50-yard line. Looks like he's going to go back to the Tusculum 40. Perhaps maybe try to get a head of steam up on this and get a good run in and return.
So the third punt of the game coming up here for Limestone, and Cook, who has hit a couple of good ones. Alford drifts back deep inside the 35. This time the running rugby style, and this one is shanked off the side of the foot by Cook, and it goes out of bounds around the 35-yard line. Jerry Odom is over there spotting it, and even Jerry Odom missed it. He had it spotted at the 38. It's out at the 37.
Yeah, in this case, Coach Odom's glad that the officials didn't listen to him because it benefited the Pioneers by a couple of yards.
A 44-yard average on the punts by Cook, but that one, not quite. So 1st and 10 for the Pioneers. 6:23 on the clock. They lead 10-7, have field position at the 37 after jumping out 10-0. Pistone going to turn around and hand it off, and this will be Maurice Gamillion at the 30. Gamillion splits a defender 25 to the 20 and down to the 17-yard line. It's a 1st and 10 for Maurice Gamillion.
Huge run for Gamillion right there. Not just a speedy run. He was hitting people and breaking tackles to get the yardage.
6:15 on the clock. Gamillion takes it to the 18, picking up 19, a longest rush of his young Pioneer career. And he stays out there in the backfield. Pistone will come under center. Jake Moss lines up to the right side. Stretch handoff. This will be Gamillion again. He's got more daylight at the 10 to the 5 in the end zone. Maurice Gamillion touches pay dirt from 17 yards away. His second career Pioneer touchdown.
Good field possession to start the drive for the Pioneers. Couple big runs by Gamillion, stretching their lead once again.
Maurice Gamillion taking advantage. 2 plays, 37 yards, and he picked up all the yardage on the ground, and the Pioneers add to their lead. So Donnelly to snap it, Fowler to hold it, and Defada to attempt the point after touchdown. The last attempt of this was dropped by Fowler, and this kick by Defada is up and good. We go back to a break. 5:55 to play in the opening half. The Pioneers extend their lead. Tusculum 17, Limestone 7. As you listen to Pioneer football goes.
Yeah, I've been getting notified that has happened. So
some good old coaching shows as well. Good old Frankie. 17-7 is our score. Are they just bringing one of these? Are they just bringing one? Maurice Gamillion, 2 plays, 37 yards, took 28 seconds off of the clock. The Pioneers lead the game 17-7 on the Defada kick. Glick will kick it away. It'll be a short kick fielded by Bain at the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He hits the hole hard up to the 30 and at the 32-yard line before he'll be stopped. Where the Limestone Saints, that's actually going to be Perry. So it will bring up a 1st and 10 for Limestone. They trail by 10. And on the stop for the Pioneers is going to be Yates along with Allen Cooper.
Good return there by the Saints. Good starting field position here on this drive. Tusculum extending its lead back to 10. We know that Limestone can break off a big play, so the Pioneers have got some work to do. Plenty of time. 5:49 left before halftime.
It's actually going to be Jordan Gilliard on the stop for the Pioneers. 1st and 10 at the 32 for Limestone, and this handoff will go to Brooks. He'll start right up the middle, trying to get outside. He's tripped up barely by Bryce Bartlett, who comes up and makes a fine play for the Pioneers. Bryce Bartlett earned a start in the defensive secondary last week against Shorter, and he's tied for second on the team with 11 tackles this year.
Long run there for Limestone, but fortunately for the Pioneers, it only netted about 3 yards going forward, so Limestone has some work to do here on 2nd down.
2nd down and 7 from the 35-yard line. Yes. Wildcat formation as JoJo Watson will come in and take the snap. He's looking to shovel pass. It will be the shovel pass, but the Pioneers had that play read. Nice defensive effort by the Pioneers. Hutto comes up with the completion as Watson just kind of took a couple of steps and then just a little shovel pass to the trailing tight end, but the Pioneers were not fooled, and that was either, I think, Devin Woodson who comes up with that stop.
It was Devin Woodson read the play the entire way. Limestone got the benefit of the doubt of maybe the line of scrimmage or just forward a couple feet, and 3rd down and long now for the Saints.
Brooks stays out there with Morton. Hutto will line up on the right side for Limestone. 3 wideouts to the far side. 3rd down coming up for Limestone's 3rd down and 7. Out of the gun, Morton with the snap. Looking across the middle, it's complete to Rawl, but well short of the 1st down, and a good open field tackle again by Bartlett. And the Pioneers get a hold right here on 3rd down.
Bartlett had that one. Bartlett had that read very well. Receiver had to take off, go up into the air, and Bartlett was there, and he was going nowhere.
No gain, 4th and 7. And after a shanked punt on the last effort for Cook, he'll come back out. Tried that rugby-style kick. So Alford stands inside his 25 at the 23-yard line. Tusculum leading 17-7 here just before the half. 4:23 on the clock. And Cook had averaged 44 yards of punt prior, but he tries that again, this little step, this time much better. Alford drifts back to the 15. Alford right up the middle will be downed at about the 24-yard line. Good coverage downfield by Limestone and the special teams led by Wesley Robinson. Going to bring up a 1st and 10 for the Pioneers at the 24.
It was coverage by Limestone great. You had 6 white shirts down there with 2 black ones trying to block them. That's not going to work, and Alford was just going in trouble.
But smart by Alford. He, instead of trying to get outside contain, he just goes right at him. So I like his aggressiveness. For sure. 1st down and 10 for Tommy Pistone. With 3 wideouts in the formation, 2 to the far sideline. Jordan Shippi will get a carry after Gamillion had a nice series last series, and this play is blown up by the middle linebacker, D'Amico Pryor, for a loss of a yard. Going to bring up 2nd down and 11.
We have mentioned it. Obviously, this is Friday night. A lot of the high schools in action. We hope to bring you some of those scores later. We do have West Green is on the road at Johnson County. Greenville's on the road in Pisgah, North Carolina. And South Green is home playing Sullivan North.
Yep.
Chuckett Oak and North Green played last night. Chuckett Oak coming out on top 62-0, I believe.
Yes. Yeah. 2nd down and 11. Handoff. Shippi, who's already over 100 yards, and he's going for more at the 30. Shippi spins at the 35, on his feet at the 40, and he's all the way up to the 50-yard line. Jordan Shippi is just running a roughshod all over this Limestone defense. It's 1st and 10 at midfield.
And just a fast and bruising tackle there, and that it's not something you would say from somebody the size of Jordan Shippi, but he's coming in here just small, powerful package, picking up big yards and moving Tusculum out to midfield.
Already surpassed, just smashing his career best 81-yard rushing day against Carson Newman in 2016. Shippi is at 157 yards for the game on the ground. Handoff will be Maurice Gamillion, and he takes off into the 40, the 35-30. Gamillion 25-20, 15 down at the 12-yard line, caught from behind. 1st and 10 for the Pioneers. Prelo saves the touchdown. 1st and 10 Tusculum.
Gamillion, just another quick, fast run. And he's making cuts on the fly that not a lot of people could do. Last week we saw the Pioneers have some trouble on that slick turf, but now they're back here on the grass at Pioneer Field, and it's paying off.
If I'm Maxwell Joseph and Lorenzo Pratt, I don't want to be injured anymore.
No, because you're going to have a tough time getting back to the head of the table.
Jordan Shippi, the senior out of Gaffney, South Carolina, a career game, is back in there in the backfield, and he's going to get the rush, and it's a huge hole to the right. He'll cut it back at the 10 to the 5 and down to the 3 goes Jordan Shippi. First and goal for the Pioneers.
Cornerback Joshua Simmons making that touchdown-saving tackle. He has saved Limestone several times here already tonight in this first half.
Pioneer offense that put up a career best for Coach Jerry Odom last week, 61 points, most that the Pioneers had scored. And with 2:09 on the clock here in this first half, Limestone is going to burn a timeout. And talk about this, just keep in mind the Pioneers receive the second half kickoff as well. Each and every Monday during football season, join me and Coach Jerry Odom and our Pioneer Players of the Week live at Applebee's in Greenville as we review the previous game and preview our next game. That begins each and every Monday at 7 o'clock. Come enjoy the benefits of the great food in the neighborhood at Applebee's while supporting your Pioneer football team. Now, if you can't make it, you can listen back here on the Pioneer Sports Network, 95.5 FM, AM 1450, or around the World Wide Web at jewel955.com. and TusculumPioneers.com. Applebee's, a proud sponsor of Tusculum University Athletics.
Brian, some of those local scores we do have: first quarter, West Green 7, Johnson County 0, Sullivan North, South Green leads Sullivan North 7-0, and Greenville's up 14. I'm guessing possibly 0, 14 something on Pisgah.
Here it's 17-7. For a South Atlantic Conference game. I was premature on the first down call. Shippi picked up just 9.5 yards. So it's second down and a yard from the 3. Pistone under center. Straight eye, Boney the fullback. Handoff Shippi, and he'll walk into the end zone. Touchdown Pioneers. Touchdown Jordan Shippi, and his career night continues for the Gaffney native.
And then, this is the game. We talked about this. He wanted at Limestone out of Gaffney, South Carolina. So playing some of his former teammates, I'm sure, coming in here wanting to make a big statement.
Tusculum has put up 23 first-half points after the pick 6. Tommy Pistone has not seemed phased, but he has not thrown the ball either. And he has not had to with Gamillion and Shippi running. Snap, hold, kick is true. We go to a break. 2:07 to play in this opening half. Your new score, Tusculum 24 and the Limestone Saints 7. Pioneer football will continue under the lights on a Friday night at the Niswonger Sports Complex on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at GoArmy.com/team.
6 yards, 2 minutes and 7 seconds off the clock for the Pioneers. Jordan Shippi, 21 carries, 169 yards, and 2 touchdowns in this football game, and a Pioneer offense that is starting to churn up the yards, 265 yards to 110, and of those total yards, the rushing, only, net passing yards for Tusculum so far in the game? 12.
Not something we've said very often.
Pioneers are well offsides when the kick is let go, and this one will be fielded at the goal line. 5, 10, 15, 20, and a huge hit at the 20-yard line. What a big, big play on special teams for the Pioneers. And that big play was made by, I think, P.J. Green. I could be wrong. It looked like, it's 48. Sorry, Ryan McIntyre's made play after play for this Pioneer team. Into the game right now, makes a one-handed catch out of the backfield, it will be Patton who makes the catch. He's the team's leading receiver as well. Ivan Hogan's trying to stay with him, couldn't that particular play, and it will pick up about 10 yards, maybe 11. It is 1st and 10 for Limestone.
Very nice play by Patton there. Ball thrown a little bit outside. He was able to stick out one hand, pull it in, and get the first down for the Saints.
It's obvious what Ivan Hogan's job is tonight is shadow Patton. in this game. Morton out of the gun. Gives it to Patton, and he'll be hit by C.J. Bartley at the line of scrimmage, but Patton's able to fall forward and up to about the 34. He and Hogan's combine on the stop. It's 2nd down and 6 as Limestone goes quick.
Well, we talked about Patton coming in. They've scored 4 touchdowns coming in a nice game. You had Patton scoring 2 of those.
Morton out of the gun. Back to pass. Under pressure. Steps up and will avoid one. And then Randy Hooks comes up with a big stop just across the 35 at the 36-yard line where it's 3rd down.
Number 11, Alex Morton.
Limestone still going quickly. They've already got their lineup trying to get their backs in position as we're going 1:17 left in the half.
Cody Raw will line up to the left on 3rd down for the Saints, trailing 24-7. Low snap picked up by Morton. He's throwing it into the flat, complete to Patton, who goes nowhere. As D. Alford comes up from his corner, and it'll be 4th down for the Saints.
Patton paid the price there. Pioneers now trying to get a timeout called, and Jerry Odom did get recognized.
So Odom burns his 2nd timeout to preserve some time with 57 seconds to play in the half. The Pioneers also received the 2nd half kickoff. Keep that in mind as well. Coming up here at the half, we'll have a look at this week in Tusculum Athletics, or a look at what is not going on in Tusculum Athletics. Probably would be more accurate, right?
There you go. I was watching here. They actually put 2 seconds back on the clock because Coach Odom was desperately trying to get the timeout. One of the officials on the side here not paying attention. Finally, Coach Odom went running out on the field around him, and I saw the linesman reach, and he was going to throw a penalty flag because he thought Odom was coming out on him, but he's like, no, I'm trying to call timeout. You're not paying attention. So they did run the clock back up to 59 seconds.
Well, the passing game has not been in full force for this Pioneer team, but I would say on this last particular drive, they would at least attempt it. But a pick 6 has kind of slowed it down. But Gamillion and Shippi have run crazy against Limestone. Cook, this time more traditional punt, a low wobbly spiral. Burnett fields it at the 11. 15, 20, far side return has a hole at the 30. Burnett cuts at 35. 40, and is ridden down at the 43-yard line. Open field tackle made on special teams by Jadarius Hector, a freshman out of Stapleton, Georgia. It's 1st and 10 for the Pioneers with 45 seconds and a timeout.
45 seconds, Pioneers on their own 44-yard line. Plenty of time to get some plays downfield.
A good return by Brian Burnett, the graduate student out of Jacksonville University. So he'll line up to the far side. Moss and Bellinger to the near side. These wide receivers have been an afterthought in this game. And in the backfield for the Pioneers is going to be Gamillion. He'll get a carry again, a full head of steam. He's running right at the defense, trying to break it outside. He'll get across the 45 and down to the 44-yard line of Limestone with 37 seconds to play. It stops the clock to move the chains.
Pioneers are going to be set just as soon as the clock rolls here.
Pistone out of the gun. 1st and 10 at the Saint 44. Looking, stepping up in the pocket is Pistone. Looking, and now he's going to take off and run. He'll take it down to the 35-yard line. And what will Jerry Odom do here on 3rd down coming up? 19 seconds.
They're going to clock it if they can get it snapped.
So if Pistone can get to it, which he can, they will clock it to make it 3rd down and about 2, maybe 3rd down and about a yard for the Pioneers.
All right, now 12 seconds. Do you really have time to worry about the 2nd down and a yard, or do you just look to the end zone?
Well, you got to take a shot.
You do. Actually, 11.8 is what they're going to have on the clock to work with. Not really a 2-play time from this area.
Well, you either take a shot or you throw a quick 10-yard out and give DeFada a chance to kick it. You have your timeout. You preserve that. They reset the 25-second clock, as the 40-second clock was actually supposed to start, and they reset it at 25 for some reason. So the Pioneers come out. What will they do? Go short, take the 3-point attempt, or go deep? Pistone mishandles the snap, picks it up, looks short, now throws it downfield, and it will be juggled and incomplete with 7 seconds. So it's 4th down in that gray area, and right now for the Pioneers, they'll go for it likely. But Pistone kind of didn't step into the throw after he dropped the snap.
Yeah, the only chance you have now is going deep to the end zone. Last play of the half, barring something it happens quickly and you give Limestone a shot.
So it is 4th down and about 1.5 yards. They need the 34. That's not what we're worried about. We're worried about the 20. That's right where they need to get for DeFada if you would have any time. But with 7.1 seconds, I don't know you can go that quick. So Pistone out of the gun, drops the snap again, picks it up, steps up in the pocket. Time's going to expire. No, he'll go out of bounds with 1 second. He does pick up the first down on 4th down. It's the second consecutive game that he's picked up a first down using his legs. And so it's 1st and 10 at the 31. 1.4 seconds to play, and they're going to give DeFada a chance to kick a career-long field goal.
Brian, I don't know what's happened on the last 2 plays on the exchange in the shotgun from center to quarterback, but obviously that's something that needs to be addressed. When you're in a tight situation, you don't want that happening.
Right. DeFada, who has the leg, no question about it, will attempt from 47 yards, just inside the 38-yard line. Fowler to hold it. Donnelly, good snap. Fowler gets it down. DeFada's kick is low and missing wide left. The Pioneers put up 24 in the first half. Will receive the second half kickoff, and a solid first half for this Pioneer offense as they're able to score quickly, give up a pick 6, and then respond after that thanks to Jordan Shippi and Maurice Gamillion, who come up big in the running game for the Pioneers, who put up 285 total yards in that first half, and that was only with 12 passing yards. Pioneers rushed for 273 yards in the first half. Coming up at the half, a look at this week in Tusculum Athletics, your first half statistics and first half highlights. Stay with us here from Pioneer Field. It's the conference opener for Tusculum and Limestone, and currently it's Tusculum 24, Limestone 7 at the half as you listen to Pioneer Football on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Challenges facing the country never stop. So neither does the U.S. Army. We train, adapt, and get smarter. Every soldier, every unit, every day. Not to keep up with change, but to drive it. Nobody knows what problems tomorrow will bring, but we do know who will solve them.
The first date. Only one chance to make that first impression. Don't worry, this might be new for you, but Ingalls has been there before. From flowers to the freshest ingredients, we have everything you need to put your best foot forward.
I'm so sorry.
Remember, you can't get to happily ever after without once upon a time. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
When it's your job to protect the world's greatest nation, it's your responsibility to solve the world's greatest challenges. This is why we search for the best and brightest, why we train for every eventuality, on land and water, in the air, space, and even cyberspace. We operate in a complex world with one simple mission: win.
It's fine. It'll be okay, okay? Nobody cares about the flowers. Who needs flowers at a wedding?
At Ingalls, we know that the best of plans don't always go according to plan.
My best friend's getting married today and the florist never showed.
That's why we're always there when you need us.
What are their colors?
Purple and cream.
With smiling faces and helping hands.
No one cares. No one cares. You will look great. Flowers are not important. And where is Holly? Have you anyone seen Holly?
And although life will be predictably unpredictable,
Let's get you to that wedding.
a curveball is that much more satisfying
I got the flowers!
when you knock it out of the park.
Oh my gosh, awesome!
So when the plan goes out the window and improvisation becomes the order of the day, just remember, that's where the best of memories are made.
All right, they're ready for us.
True story. Ingalls. All the ingredients for family.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at goarmy.com/team.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
And without it, you can't have sex.
And neither can I. It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape.
Consent. If you don't get it, you don't get it.
It's on us.
It's on us.
It's on us.
It's on us.
It's on us. It's on all of us.
It's on us to stop sexual assault. Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
I can shut down your power grids. I can paralyze your infrastructure. I can access the personal data of everyone in America. I am the enemy with no face, and I can't be stopped.
For every would-be cyber attack, there's a team of U.S. Army cyber warriors who will not be defeated. Find out more at goarmy.com/team.
So much of life these days is rushing around from one place to another. Sometimes you just want to enjoy the journey on the way to the destination. And part of what makes it a little more enjoyable is an appreciation for the folks who help you get there. At Ingalls, we know that the people who send you on your way are the same ones who keep you coming back.
I think you should take it for a spin. Are you serious?
Ingalls. All the ingredients for family.
Before there could be a nation, there had to be people willing to fight for it, to take on the world's greatest challenges, whatever they might be. So the U.S. Army masters not only tactics and strategy, but also physics and chemistry. We make battle plans and create breakthroughs in medicine, science, and engineering. Our next mission could be anything, so we prepare for everything.
Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you? To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus? What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what families do. Ingalls. All the ingredients for family.
I can shut down your power grids. I can paralyze your infrastructure. I can access the personal data of everyone in America. I am the enemy with no face, and I can't be stopped.
For every would-be cyber attack, there's a team of U.S. Army cyber warriors who will not be defeated. Find out more at goarmy.com/team. When it's your job to protect the world's greatest nation, it's your responsibility to solve the world's greatest challenges. This is why we search for the best and brightest, why we train for every eventuality, on land and water, in the air, space, and even cyberspace. We operate in a complex world with one simple mission: win.
The first date. Only one chance to make that first impression. Don't worry, this might be new for you, but Ingalls has been there before. From flowers to the freshest ingredients, we have everything you need to put your best foot forward.
I'm so sorry.
Remember, you can't get to happily ever after without once upon a time.
Wow, it's funny running into
Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at GoArmy.com/team.
The second half kickoff, and a good first half, Joe, for this Pioneer team. I think they were challenged in a couple of different ways. They were dealt with some adversity, but I would think that Brian Ferguson would like to see this passing game a little bit better. Now, albeit Limestone secondary is very good, but I still think you would like to see more than one completion in the game.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to have that. Years ago, we were saying the Pioneers were just so pass dominant, but that was by design. Tonight, I don't think it's run dominant by design. It's just the passing game hasn't gotten out of the gate really here. Is what they need to do is balance things out a little bit more. And we'll probably see the Pioneers try to work on that some here in the second half.
Yeah, but I also know this coaching staff. They get a lead, they like to work on the clock. Let's just shorten the game and do that. So I don't think we'll see the shots taken downfield, but I also believe the shots they took downfield early also opened up the running game.
They really did, and that's why you need that multi-dimensional offense. If Limestone knows you've got that threat to go downfield, that's going to pull your defensive backs back in coverage and kind of open up for your runners like Shippi and Gamillion to hit the holes and just go and pick up big pieces of real estate.
Well, that's a career game for Jordan Shippi and Maurice Gamillion, for that matter. Shippi at the 169 yards and Maurice Gamillion with 92 yards. He's running 13 yards every time he touches it. Jay Boyd is standing 5 yards deep in his end zone, and I think Martin will try to just kick this one through the end zone. And this time Jay Boyd will run up to the goal line and take a knee rather smartly, because Limestone had that one pretty well hemmed in. I think the rule of thumb is if you can kick it to the corner and hem him in, that's the best way. But right up the middle, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, and of course now with the rules the way they are, it benefits you just to try to pin somebody back, or because they're going to get it on the 25. So if you can prevent them from breaking a big run like Jay Boyd has the ability to, just go ahead and set up on the 25 and start your defense.
Pistone in the offense scrimmage from their 25. They go right to left on your radio as we view it. This will be Shippi in the backfield with Pistone, who will get the handoff running to the near side, the boundary side. He'll take it up to the 30, winning first down once again. It's been a staple for the Pioneers so far in this game, and there on the stop is going to be Dominic Lucas, his fourth stop of the game. It's second down and 5 coming up for the Pioneers.
5 on the nose, got the football spotted on the 30-yard line. Now the Pioneers can take a little bit of a different look here on second down and maybe try to open up something downfield on that far sideline.
Broadwater and Herring here on this left side, opening up big holes in the running game. Here in the passing game is Bellinger, and he'll have a catch and take it up near the first down marker, just shy by a half yard as he's tripped up. He didn't really catch it cleanly, kind of tripped over his own feet. It'll be third down, half a yard for the Pioneers.
Right, and that makes it third and easy. This is a ball security play. Just get your first down and start fresh.
But hey, our second completion of the game.
Hey.
Celebrating. And really, we're not even complaining when you rush for the almost 300 yards and a half. Third down, half yard for the Pioneers, just underway in the second half. Tusculum leading 24-7. Pistone turns around, will hand it off. This will be Shippi, big hole, 40. Into secondary, 45, and he is escorted out of bounds, shy of the midfield stripe, and another double-digit run for Jordan Shippi, who's closing in on 200 yards on the day.
Well, already into double-digit tackles. Joshua Simmons for the Saints. That's his 13th stop for the Saints.
For Joshua Simmons, D2Football.com All-American, preseason first-teamer last year, but then he played 2 games and was injured, missed the rest of the season. So he has all the hardware and the accolades, and he's had to earn a lot of it tonight.
He has more tackles than the next 3 guys on his team combined.
Shippi, another big hole, and Simmons with another stop for Limestone. You can see the frustration coming in on the 5th-year senior Josh Simmons. Another big gainer, 7 yards. It's 2nd down and 3. We'll say 2nd down and 4.
Josh Simmons, as you say, he's a graduate player. He's from Moncks Corner, down just outside of Charleston. That area getting ready to get hit by Hurricane Florence after it finally makes its way out of North Carolina and down the coast.
Well, they say, I guess you had a picture of Surf City. The storm surge appeared to be well over 9 feet tall.
Yeah, and I think the dunes can hold that, but not much more.
Pistone on the rollout, looking downfield, got a man wide open. It's complete and out of bounds. I think that was Jake Moss who has the catch at the 30-yard line and out of bounds. Actually, that's going to be Carter Mangle who comes up with the catch. And if you're wondering, well, Ron, how can you tell that Carter Mangle is 6'6" and Jake Moss is 5'7"? How can you mess that up? He was all the way over there.
Yeah, he was.
It's a 1st and 10 for the Pioneers at the 29.
At least it's not like last week where the entire opposing team had double players wearing multiple numbers.
Yeah, defensive numbers and offensive numbers. Blitz comes, and it's not picked up. And I thought they really jumped the snap and got into the backfield. They actually knew the snap. As on the stop in the backfield is Christian Shoup. He left the game a bit earlier in the first half. Good to see him back for Limestone fans. Loss of 2, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 12 for Tusculum.
First time the Pioneers have gone backwards here in the second half.
They went backwards, 3 times in that first half. Shippi lost 2 yards, and Gamillion lost 1 on plays, but those were basically 3 plays, so they lost a yard each. This is a 3-yard loss, 2nd down and 13. Gamillion will actually line up as the fullback for the Pioneers. Pistone on play action, hit as he delivers it, and this one is going to be picked off. What are they saying? It is. It's picked off by the Limestone Saints as the pass is picked off by Prelo, and Pistone was hit as he delivered it, and he missed his target well short.
Of course, that was all the way across the field, but it sure looked like from our vantage point that it might have hit the turf before he bounced. Didn't get the benefit of that doubt, and we'll take a look at the replay here.
It was very difficult, obviously, to tell, but good pressure right up on Pistone, who delivered it. Maybe he did get his arms under it. Prelo, either way, it would have been a very close call. And it's 1st and 10 for Limestone. 2nd interception of the game, and the turnovers are even at 2 in the game. 4 interceptions in this contest. Running play, and this is going to be Brooks, who will carry it from the 14 out to the and up to the 16-yard line. A gain of 2 on the play, bring up 2nd down and 8.
Reasonable stop there for the Pioneer defense. If you can hold them here, force the punt unit back on. No harm, no foul on the interception.
Got a slow down view of it. It was bang bang, and I think he got his hands under it and it popped up into his chest. Either way, it's a turnover on the Pioneers. Jacoya Patton carrying it that last time. He'll get another carry, and Ivan Hogans isn't going to allow this to go very far whatsoever. The defensive line did their job. Hogan spotted the ball carrier and brings him down, and it will bring up 3rd down coming up for the Limestone Saints.
Hogan's number 2 on the team for the Pioneers in the first half with 5 tackles, just 1 behind Randy Hooks.
So 3rd down and 7 coming up for the Saints. They trail in the game 24-7 to the homestanding Pioneers, who are home next week against UNC Pembroke, pending Hurricane Florence's aftermath, such as flooding. We know that the Pembroke area can take on some water.
And refugees and hurricanes.
I was just going to leave it at that. Morton, and I think that Limestone has to burn a timeout. They will, so early here in this first half, that will allow us to step aside for 30 seconds. 10:13 to play in this 3rd quarter as Tusculum continues to lead the Limestone Saints by 17.
Before there could be a nation, there had to be people willing to fight for it, to take on the world's greatest challenges, whatever they might be. So the U.S. Army masters not only tactics and strategy, but also physics and chemistry. We make battle plans and create breakthroughs in medicine, science, and engineering. Our next mission could be anything, so we prepare for everything.
.13 to play here in this third quarter of play. Talking with Tommy Pistone this week for the Pioneers. Said, you know, I've got to have a good week in preparation. He said, probably hasn't been my best week, still trying to get through a lot of things. I think we see that in the passing game a little bit for him. 2 picks in the contest, but the running game is going. Hooks on the blitz. It's picked up. Morton across the middle, and the Pioneers are going to come up with the interception. That's Jay Boyd's second of the game. You read that play, read Morton, and he has his second. It's his 9th career INT.
Nice play by Jay Boyd there. Limestone spread it out. You knew they were going to throw the football, had wide receivers everywhere. Jay Boyd had dropped back deep to prevent a long ball, and whenever he saw what the play was doing, he stepped up, jumped in front of the wide receiver. Pioneers now excellent field position here at the Saints 25.
2 years ago on this field, Jay Boyd had 2 interceptions in a game against these Limestone Saints. He does it again in 2018 this time. And Jay Boyd continuing to climb the charts briefly in his career. Yes, a junior for Jay and in his Pioneer career, but a guy that has burst onto the scene. Glad to have him here wearing the orange and black. So 1st and 10 for the Pioneers. 5 interceptions have been thrown here in this contest. Jay Boyd with 9 INTs for his career, tying that of Cameron Thomas from 2013 to 2016. The next INT will put Jay Boyd 3rd alone, behind that of Jermaine Mack. Ricardo Coakley with the career lead with 15 career interceptions. Handoff, this is going to be Shippi running it hard near side at the 25-20 and down at about the 18-yard line. Simmons again coming up from his safety position and helped out that time by Reed. It's going to bring up a gain of about 8, call it 7 at 2nd and 3.
Ricardo Coakley, the answer to the halftime trivia contest. He has 15 career interceptions. He has the single season record at Tusculum with 11 in 2003.
Yeah, that was a pretty good mark. 9.5 on the clock. It runs. Tusculum leads 24-7. Shippi stays in the backfield. 2 wideouts to the far side, Bellinger and Ponder. Handoff to Shippi near side. He has the first down and more at the 10, and he'll be stood up at the 9, maybe the 8-yard line. Either way, it's going to be 1st and goal for the Pioneers.
Good run by Shippi there. He got through, he got the yardage he needed, and then some. Realized he was about to be tackled, and then just a great job of ball security.
Pioneer football team averaging 32 points a game offensively, allowing, again, just 13.5 points per game. And when you talk about scoring offense, Tusculum 46th in the country. Their scoring defense ranked 23rd in the country. Limestone, who's played a grueling start, 2 very tough opponents, and now a 3rd tough opponent for them. They are 130th or worse in scoring offense and defense. Shippi, not much room here this time as he tried to bounce it outside. A nice job by the Saints setting the edge. I believe that will be Dalton Yates who was actually setting the edge that time, but then was finished up by Saxon. It'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 7.
Connor Johnston tied in, checking in for the Pioneers here as they get down closer to the goal line. They're trying to get a little bit more protection up front.
Pistone, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and offer yourself a passing option with that tight end.
Bellinger, that's big 6'3" target to the far side. You've got all 3 tight ends in the game for the Pioneers. And this handoff will go to Shippi. Shippi up the middle, and he'll touch pay dirt for the 3rd time in the game. Touchdown Pioneers. Touchdown Jordan Shippi, whose career game continues well over 200 yards on the night.
Longest touchdown run of the night. First one of 5, second of 3, and now that touchdown from 7 yards out.
The Pioneer ground and pound in full effect here tonight. You know, coaches are funny, creatures of habit. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, and no need to force anything else. The ground game working for the Pioneers tonight. Jordan Shippi with 218 yards rushing. The point after by Defada is up and good, and we go back to a break. So 8:17 to play. We go to timeout with your new score. It's Tusculum 31 and Limestone 7. Pioneer football continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you? To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus? What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what families do. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
8:17 to play here in the football game as Jordan Shippi's career night continues. His third touchdown, 218 yards on the ground. It's the sixth most yards rushing in a game to this point, just 2 yards behind Aaron Clarity, the Hall of Famer, at 220 yards. Bertie Dockery, 228. Eric Clarity, 229. Walter Deddy at 245. And Isaac Robinson, 250 at Brevard. Remember the rain game we had? He rushed for 250 yards in that one just a couple of years ago, a couple of seasons ago, 2015. The touchdown, 4 plays, 25 yards after Jay Boyd's second interception of the game. Short kick fielded at the 15 this time. The Pioneer special teams do well in coverage and hem up the returner at the 24-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 coming up for Scott, who gets out to the 24 and a 10-yard return.
And just take a look at those numbers. You mentioned the offense. Whenever you've got these running backs back here, and it's not just Shippi that's run well tonight. You know, Gamillion has run really well tonight. He's closing in on 100 yards. Probably get it the next time he gets in and gets his hand on the football. And then the guys who aren't even in the game that you have as threats.
Yeah. Maxwell Joseph, along with Lorenzo Pratt, who has not played since the season opener. This will be the play action, and this pass is incomplete. No, it's intercepted by Isaac Hogans, who had it stuck on his hip as it was intended for Hutto. He didn't catch it, and Hogans didn't even realize he had it until it was stuck on his hip.
It went right through the receiver's hands, got into Hogans on his hip, and he realized it, and then headed right down the sideline.
Ivan Hogans comes up with the interception. Boy, he has been all over the place here tonight, as it was Alec Morton trying to play action. It deflects. Oh, he did know that he had it as well.
He juggled it a couple times and then pulled it into the hip.
4th INT for Morton, getting an emergency start for Limestone tonight in place of DJ Phillips. Throwing it into the corner of the end zone on a fade route. Might have just overrun it. Was Ponder, I believe, in that corner of the end zone. Incomplete, actually, pardon me. It's A.J. Bellinger. And it'll be 2nd down and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Good play calling, good execution all the way around. Just a little bit unfortunate for the Pioneers. It wasn't completed for a touchdown.
Yeah, we just haven't been able to catch passes tonight. As Pioneer team 3 of 10. Carter Mangle has the longest reception of 18 yards. Moss of 12, and Bellinger has a 4-yard catch. Gamillion in the backfield. Pistone under center, 2nd and 10 at the 19. Handoff, and crashing from the outside and coming in is Dalton Yates. A rare appearance by Yates in the game, and maybe a half-yard gain for Gamillion. It's 3rd down and 9 for the Pioneers.
Not what the Pioneers wanted here. You want to be able to get success after a big play like that, because that breeds wanting more success.
Dalton Yates, smart kid, 6-time Conference Carolinas presidential honoree. 73 career tackles coming into tonight's contest, including a game record last week against West Georgia. 7:20 and counting in the third. Tusculum leads 31-7. It's 3rd down and 9.5. Pistone to pass. In the flat will be complete to Bellinger. Makes one man miss, and then that man hangs on as the ball is down to the 14. Gain of only 5 on the play, and it's 4th down. On the stop was Manny Ogletree.
Taking a look, Joe DeFada coming in for the Pioneers. He missed his first field goal of the season earlier, but that was, we won't necessarily call that just a miss on his fault. It was a long play with a second and a few tenths left, just trying to make something happen at the end of the first half.
Then had one that his holder could not hang on to. 31-yard effort right here. Fowler to hold it. Donnelly to snap it. From 31 yards near hash. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. Joe DeFada is true from 31 yards. We go to a break. New score, 6:32 to play in the third quarter. Tusculum 34, Limestone 7. Pioneer football continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
I can shut down your power grids. I can paralyze your infrastructure. I can access the personal data of everyone in America. I am the enemy with no face, and I can't be stopped.
For every would-be cyber attack, there's a team of U.S. Army cyber warriors who will not be defeated. Find out more at goarmy.com/team.
Booth with the voice of the Pioneers, Brian Staten.
4 plays, just 5 yards, 1:31 off the clock after Jay Boyd's second interception of the game. And after every Jay Boyd interception, the Pioneers have scored. So the Pioneers have a 34-7 lead here in this football game. And right now outgaining Limestone 363-128 in this football contest, and Jordan Shippi with a career day.
And that was a scoring play after the Ivan Hogan's interception.
Pardon me, yes, sorry.
But Boyd had the previous.
Where we scored the touchdown.
Yeah.
And they went back-to-back, basically.
It's nice when you can have that problem that is happening so often that you get guys confused.
Glick kicks it away. Drifting back into the end zone and taking a knee just before coming out was Scott. So a smart play by him. But Mike Klein, the defensive coordinator, says we set a goal every game. We want 4 turnovers. Well, they have 4 picks so far in this football game. As Jay Boyd has 2. Malik Goodman has 1. And Ivan Hogan's just moments ago with his first. And the other issue is Limestone has 2 interceptions. So 6 turnovers in the game. Last year, Tusculum turned over Limestone 6 times and lost the game. Returned 2 for scores.
And neither team has lost a fumble.
It's true, yeah. 6:32 on the clock. It will be Brooks back out in the backfield. Morton working from the gun. Brooks with the handoff, finds some daylight around right end, gets to the 30, and then lunges forward to about the 33-yard line. So a big gainer on first down for Malik Brooks.
And the penalties have been clean tonight, too. I mean, we got to this point. So, and let's not jinx anything, but between the two teams, 5 total penalties.
Morton out of the gun, and we'll look over to the sideline. True freshman Desmond Thomas at right tackle, and senior Raymond Chase opening up a big hole at time for Brooks on that last play. Here in the third quarter, Tusculum leading 34-7. And this will be Brooks. He'll run to the left, and he'll run into some resistance on that left side. And I think should have enough and will have enough for a first down as he crosses the 35 up to the 37-yard line. This time the left side of that line, led by Kenneth Glover and Ashley Mitchell, pick up the first down. Hear from Josh Forrest, and we hear from D. Alford for the first time really in this game. For Josh Forrest, Alford was big on a third down play on a screen on a stop to Cody Rawl. Here is 5.5 to play in the third. Morton, this pass is going to go for very little as Quadri Allen fights through a screen and is being blocked before the ball was thrown. Perry catches it, but is going to lose 5 yards on the play back to the 32 as Quadri Allen comes up with the stop.
Yeah, for an offense, you know that's frustrating for Limestone whenever you complete a pass for a loss of 5 yards and now back yourself up to 7 and 15.
Well, Limestone came into the night last in the league in attempts per pass, or I should say yards per pass completion of 6 yards per pass. Now they've gone downfield, but a lot of that at the line of scrimmage. And this for Watson is incomplete, thrown behind him as the Pioneers had that one. Malik Goodman was in good position to make a stop there. If he just kind of slows down, he probably has a pick 6. As it is, 3rd down and 15 for Limestone.
Well, I mean, in this case, Morton had to throw the ball in a hurry because D. Alford was crashing in right in his face, so Morton didn't quite get to throw on it he wanted.
So under 5 minutes to play in the third. 3rd down and 15. Neither team has been very good on third downs. Limestone 2 for 10. Morton setting up a screen is complete, could go for big yards at the 35, at the 40, 45 to the 50, and is just tripped up at the Pioneer 45-yard line by Alford, or Brooks goes to the house. It's 1st and 10, converting on 3rd down and 15, down to the Pioneer 41.
That's at least twice that the Pioneers have given up big first downs whenever they had the Saints back third and at least 15.
Pioneers not set defensively. Morton basically a free play. It breaks down now, and his pass intended for Perry is short and incomplete. And it'll bring up 2nd and 10 at the Pioneer 41. A rare appearance for Limestone in Pioneer territory today.
It is. I think Coach Odom's still not happy with that big, because as much as he focuses on the defense, and then to give up just a daggone screen dump-off pass that you turn into big yardage and a first down.
So it brings up a 2nd down and 10 coming up for Limestone. 4:37 after they go for 27 yards on 3rd down and 15. Handoff to Brooks, trying to get outside. He does. He breaks a tackle at the 35 and takes it down near the 30. Actually, they say he stepped out of bounds about the 34. So it'll bring up 2nd, make that 3rd down coming up now for Limestone.
Let's see where the ball gets.
Oh, they actually said he stepped out at the 36.
All right, so that makes it 3rd and about 6 or so for the Saints here. Pioneers need to try to redeem themselves from the last 3rd down conversion.
34-7, Tusculum leads. 4:15 on the clock. Morton out of the gun. He'll move his tight ends from the left to the right side. Hutto is the basic H-back off the line of scrimmage. This will be Jacoya Patton trying to bounce it outside. He does at the 30. Patton at the 25, at the 20. Goodman brings him down inside the 10 at the 5 to the 4-yard line where it's 1st and goal Limestone.
Certainly a touchdown saving tackle right there, but now Limestone gets a fresh set of downs right at the 5.
So this offense looking for their first touchdown of the game. It was a DJ Witherspoon pick 6 from 22 yards. Patton stays in there. And the Saints, who trail 34-7. This will be Morton on the triple option pass out to Raw. He breaks a tackle and takes it to about the 2-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and goal. Bryce Bartlett makes sure he went nowhere else and helped out on that near side by Quadri Allen. It's 2nd down.
Solid play there. Didn't look good for the Saints from the start, but it wound up pretty good. Picked up the yardage and 8. Now they're down on the 2.
I say you give it to Jacoya Patton. I mean, if you're here, this offensive freshman of the year from a year ago, yes, he's a bit banged up and did not start tonight, but he has been effective. A little shovel pass on this little crossing pattern by Raw will take it down to the 1-yard line, and that's Colton Strickland who comes up with the stop. So it's 3rd and goal at the 1 for Limestone with 3 minutes to play in the 3rd.
Pioneer defense, they don't want to give this up. Not giving up an offensive touchdown tonight. These guys would love to keep that intact, but they've got a big task with Limestone here on the 1-yard line.
Chris Matthews and Josh Forrest check in as Morton calling out the play. He's going to come under center, it would appear, and will go straight forward. And Morton is going to be hit once, twice, 3 times, and Ivan Hogan's is going to make sure he does not get in. But it was the interior, led by Colton Strickland of the Pioneers, that kept him out. It's 4th and goal from right at the 1.
Well, that Limestone's going to go for this here. It really does them no good to even attempt a field goal. Whenever you're down 34-7 in the 3rd quarter, they've got to get a touchdown. And right now, here's a Pioneer defense opportunity to make a big, memorable stop.
So Colton Strickland, along with Clemens, plugging up the hole. Back into the gun goes Morton on 4th and goal from the 1. Looking for the option to Patton. Oh, he stops in his tracks, and then he will lunge for the goal line. He will not get in. The Pioneers get a goal line stand, take over well deep in their own territory at the 1-yard line.
Big defensive stand for the Pioneers here right whenever they need it. Limestone really thought they were going to be able to get into the end zone. Ball probably did cross the plane, but after the knee was down.
After it was down. A good call by the official who was right on top of it. The Pioneers get a stop, and Limestone's offensive woes continue. They have 4 touchdowns all season long coming in. This Pioneer offense taking over deep in their own territory inside the 1 with 2 minutes left in the 3rd. So Pistone will come under center. Shippi in the backfield will get a handoff, and he's tripped up behind the line but is able to avoid that tackle and get out to about the 3, maybe the 4-yard line. As there from the bottom of that pile for Limestone was Dominique Lucas. It's 2nd down and 8.
Clock rolls down, 1:45 left in the 3rd quarter.
Lucky in that backfield that Shippi was able to avoid the tackle. So on 2nd down and 8, Bellinger lines up to the far sideline. Shippi stays in there. Pistone comes under center. A limited playbook here for sure. Handed off. This will be Shippi running right side. He's found some daylight. He's at the 10. He's at the 15. He'll take it up to the 20. Still on his feet to the 24-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Pioneers on a 21-yard gash by Jordan Shippi, who's closing in on a school record for rushing yards in a game.
He's closing in. He had 219, tack on another 24, getting very close, 250 yards for the contest.
A Pioneer football team that leads 34-7, in large part thanks to Jordan Shippi's 3 touchdowns and career night. And it's not even raining like it was for Isaac Robinson at Brevard, where the pass-happy Pioneers went totally run. Handoff, this will be Shippi again, and this time not as exciting a run, as he'll gain 1 under a minute to play here in this third quarter.
I'm glad it's not raining the way it was that night over at Brevard, but if we would have played this thing tomorrow, we could have had those conditions.
And again, another injury, and for the second time in the game, it will be Christian Shoup, the fourth-year captain, the fourth-year junior out of Hull, Georgia, in Madison County High School.
Very few of these players are from outside South Carolina or North Carolina. I think if I look right, however many they've got on the roster, only 7 are from outside. Well, there might be a few others from Georgia too, because I was thinking of areas that are going to be affected by the hurricane, but only 7 players who are outside of North Carolina, South Carolina, or Georgia.
So 42 seconds to play here in the third. 2nd down and 9 coming up. Shippi is 8 yards away from tying a school record in rushing at 242 yards for the game. And I believe it'll be Gamillion who will come in on this play. Nope, it's actually Shippi who is still out there. Out of the gun will be Pistone. 2nd down and 9. Looking, stepping up in the pocket. He'll take off. It'll be Pistone who will take it across the 35 and stop by Dalton Yates at the 37-yard line. It goes for 12. It's another 1st and 10 and another running play for the Tusculum Pioneers.
And that was shades of Corey Russell right there. Shippi looking for a pass, didn't have it, so he just took off and scrambling. He's done that several times tonight, but that was his best run of the day.
So for Tusculum, 1st and 10 at the 37. 10 seconds to play in the third. Pistone is looking right at the clock. And he steps up out of the gun. I think they're going to get a playoff, though, before the end of the third. They will. This will be Jake Moss. A receiver screen is complete, and then he's taken down at the line by Dalton Yates. And when we go to the fourth quarter, it'll be 2nd down and 10 coming up for the Pioneers. Only the 5th completion of the game for Pistone, as the running and ground game has been awesome for Tusculum. End of 3, Tusculum 34 and Limestone 7. Pioneer football continues from the Niswonger Sports Complex. Sports Network.
It's fine. It'll be okay, okay? Nobody cares about the flowers. Who needs flowers at a wedding?
At Ingalls, we know that the best of plans don't always go according to plan.
My best friend's getting married today and the florist never showed.
That's why we're always there when you need us.
What are their colors?
Purple and cream.
With smiling faces and helping hands.
No one cares. No one cares. You will look great. Flowers are not important. And where is Holly? Have you anyone seen Holly?
And although life will be predictably unpredictable,
let's get you to that wedding.
A curveball is that much more satisfying.
I got the flowers!
When you knock it out of the park.
Oh my gosh, it's awesome!
So when the plan goes out the window and improvisation becomes the order of the day, just remember, that's where the best of memories are made.
All right, they're ready for us.
True story. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Yards to hold it all his own.
All right, so we start the fourth quarter. Tusculum leading at 34-7, looking for their 3rd all-time win against Limestone in the 4th all-time meeting. Last year, Limestone in the conference opener in Limestone's first conference game in the South Atlantic Conference knocked off the Pioneers in overtime. Play action, Pistone is looking to go deep. He's looking for Burnett, who is held up. And I guess you let that go as Manny Ogletree in coverage with Burnett. Tusculum taking their shots. They have done so in this game quite often. And so it's 3rd down and 10, though, coming up for the Pioneers.
I've seen a whole lot less called for pass interference in our careers of doing this. So whenever you've got the defensive back hand checking and shoving and banging down their wide receiver's arms the whole way, how is that not a penalty?
That's a very good question. I'm sure that's what the coaching staff was asking as well. So here it is, 3rd down and 10. 4 wideouts in the formation for the Pioneers. Burnett, the single wideout to the boundary side, looking that way. This pass is going to be to Shippi, complete at the 50. What a catch at the 45. He's stopped by Josh Simmons. Shippi had a chance last week with a catch out of the backfield, but dropped it, and that one was much more difficult. And there is a flag in the backfield, what could be a roughing the passer, to be tacked on to this 17-yard play.
All right, that's only Pistone's 6th completion, and 2 of those have been yards added on because it was roughing the passer after the fact.
So Jordan Shippi out of the backfield, and I thought it was pretty well defended by Limestone, but a well-designed play by offensive coordinator Brian Ferguson, who'll be glad to know that his son's high school team has the backup quarterback at Greenville, and now opening up a lead against Pisgah, North Carolina, 28-0.
Haven't really gotten any scores from the other games. I do know that South Green was leading Sullivan North there at one point, and West Green trailed 14-7 against Johnson County at the half.
Still that score. I think Sullivan North has overcome South Green now. It's 21-14 at Rebel Hill. It's 1st and 10 for the Pioneers. We're trying to get the chains adjusted. We're not quite there yet, boys. This will be a Jordan Shippi carry, and he'll take it down from the 27 to the 25. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 8 for the Pioneers.
It closes him in. It gives him 244 yards. School record is 250.
And tonight, without Maxwell Joseph or Lorenzo Pratt, the 2 number 1 and 2 running back, or basically the 2 number 1s out of camp because you don't really have a 1 or 2 in their system. Shippi was the all-out number 2 guy that would come in those series. He burst onto the scene in the last basic play of the first half against North Greenville and ran for 11 yards. It was the longest play of the first half. Pistone out of the gun. Screen, and he's going to go deep, and this is going to be Burnett. There is a flag down as Burnett this time did enough to sell the pass interference.
All right, going to step off 15 yards, or I guess they'll probably wind up they'll get half the distance for the goal out of this, move down and get a 1st down.
So for Tusculum, Burnett, who, again, one of those graduate players that Jerry Odom has brought in with regularity. This one out of Jacksonville University. Remember, last year we had Shaq Harris come from Massachusetts as a graduate tight end. That the pass interference is against Limestone. Burnett out of Orange Park, Florida, 91 receiving yards so far this year. It's a team best. He played 2 seasons at Jacksonville in the 2015-16 year. In 22 games, he had 55 catches, over 1,000 yards. 1st and goal at the 10 for the Pioneers. 3 wideouts in the formation. Pistone is going to turn around, hand it off to Gamillion, who is blown up as he tried to spin, and he got blown up by Josh Simmons. How many times? That guy's probably closing in on the new school record, which was established last week for 17 tackles.
That was his 17th.
That is amazing. So back-to-back games in which Limestone has tallied a school record for 17. Actually had the tackle on the last play, so that's his 18th.
That's 18th. That is a school record for Simmons and the Saints.
2nd down and goal from the 10-yard line. 4 wideouts in the formation. Pistone has thrown for just 60 yards on the day. High snap. Pistone takes a hit as he delivers it, and it's incomplete. So it's 3rd and goal at the 10, and Dalton Yates hit him. Gamillion kind of missed the block, and a guy who's had back surgery taking a blindside hit. Good to see Pistone get up without any problems.
Yeah, that's true. We talked about this earlier. Twice in the first half, you had to exchange from center to quarterback, and the shotgun go on the ground, and you have to pick it up, and then this time it just about went over Pistone's shoulder.
So 3rd down and 10. Little issue there between Big Schmo, the center for the Pioneers, Vincent Napier. They'll go Bellinger, Ponder, and Moss to the left, Burnett near. Gamillion in the backfield with Pistone to pass on 3rd and goal at the 10, looking for Gamillion. He misses him wide. It's incomplete, and it's 4th down, and DeFada and the field goal unit will come onto the field.
DeFada trying to keep, he's not technically perfect, but he is perfect on ones that could be made.
Yeah, he missed, he rushed one at the end of the half and missed it wide left. It was a low kick from, what was that? We
47.
say 47 yards. And then we had the one right at the start of the 2nd quarter that Fowler just couldn't hold on to the snap from Donnelly. So this one will go and be a 27-yard effort from the near hash. Donnelly snap, high snap, as Fowler gets it down. DeFada's kick is up and good from 27. 13:07 to play in our game. A new score as we go to break. It's Tusculum 37. It's Limestone 7. Pioneer football continues after this Friday night under the lights at Pioneer Field on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Before there could be a nation, there had to be people willing to fight for it, to take on the world's greatest challenges, whatever they might be. So the U.S. Army masters not only tactics and strategy, but also physics and chemistry. We make battle plans and create breakthroughs in medicine, science, and engineering. Our next mission could be anything, so we prepare for everything.
And we welcome you back into Pioneer Field, where the Tusculum Pioneers add to their lead on the DeFada 27-yard field goal. 12 plays, 89 yards. Remember, the drive began at the 1 after a goal line stand, keeping Limestone out of the end zone. And it took 3:53 off the clock. And Jordan Shippi was a big part of that drive as well, running the football. 32 carries for 244 yards in the contest for Jordan Shippi. As this Pioneer team, Brandon Glick will come out to kick it away. Scott and Bain back deep. So Glick, foot to leather, gets it away and will drive Bain 2 yards deep. He'll bring it out 5, 10, 15, and is down at about the 18 or 19 yard line. Leon Cunningham there on the stop for the Tusculum Pioneers. Cunningham, the senior out of Hernando, Mississippi, with those junior college transfers out of Northwest Community College, and played his career ball, his high school ball at Hernando High School.
And take into consideration, we still got more than 13 minutes left in this contest here tonight, Brian. Tusculum College scored 3 points in the season opener. Didn't even get in the end zone. Over the last 2, pending no further scoring, the Pioneers have scored 47.
Right.
Averaged 47 per game.
Right up the middle, the Pioneers are gashed on a Jacoria Patton run across the 35 to the 40 and up to the 44-yard line. There was nothing about that, just smash-mouth football right up the middle.
And that's all it was. And you finally got a good stop in order to prevent the long touchdown by the Saints.
So Tusculum gives up a big first down run, and now on first down and 10, not much here at all. C.J. Bartley is there in the backfield along with Nelson Luis. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it's second down and 11.
Second 11 for the Saints, trying to get something going, still looking for their first offensive touchdown of the evening.
So 12.5 on the clock here in this fourth quarter. Tusculum leads 37-7. 4 wideouts in the formation for Morton, an emergency start at quarterback for Limestone tonight. His pass into the flat is going to be complete, and really it's a good open field tackle as Perry comes up with the catch. I want to say Quadri Allen comes up with that stop, and if he doesn't make the stop, it's a touchdown.
It was Allen, and it was a good stop, and it's got Saints now needing to do something on third and about 4.
So third down for the Saints. They've been decent on third down here in this football. Well, they've been decent here in this second half on third down. Morton is 11 of 28, 105 yards, and has been picked off 4 times in the game. So on third down, a little play action pass to Hutto is complete, and this will be Isaiah Dunn, who missed the entire game last week after the targeting, who comes up with the stop on Hutto. It'll be enough for a 1st and 10 for Limestone.
Talk about Limestone's third down conversion. That makes them 5 of 14 attempts on third downs.
1st and 10 as Limestone goes quick, 11.5 on the clock. Jacoria Patton finds a big hole at the 40 to the 35 as he's into the secondary and down at the 34, maybe the 33-yard line. As they're on the stop is Nick Jackson, a freshman out of Valdosta, Georgia. We're seeing a lot of youngsters on the field for the Pioneers right now.
Well, and that could be part of the reason that Limestone seems to be picking up its effort here on this drive, because the Pioneers are getting some new guys on the field.
Morton is out of the gun, looking near sideline. This pass will be complete and then dropped at the 33-yard line, looking for Hutto, and defending was Chris Matthews for the Pioneers.
You know, if you're Tusculum, one way you like to look at the scoreboard and the stats and say, hey, let's keep the status quo here and have a big numbers game, but whenever you've got what should be a safe lead, get these other guys in the game. That way they're experienced whenever you have to have them.
11 minutes, 1 second on the clock. 3rd down and a yard for Limestone. They were kept out of the end zone their last drive on 4th and goal from the 1 on a goal line stand for Tusculum. Patton, play action. No, he's got it. He'll run it to the 30-yard line, which will be enough for a first down for Limestone. And on the bottom of that pile for the Pioneers, trying to catch the number is tough. It looks like Jackson Cawthon. It is. It brings up 1st and 10 for Limestone.
10:50 on the clock left in the Giants game.
So 37-7, Tusculum by 30 in this football game. Patton with the carry right up the middle. He is met in the defensive line and brought down right at the line of scrimmage as coming up off the bottom of that pile for the Pioneers. It looked as if that was Jihad Russ. It was. And again, a lot of guys just trying to see and figure out new names and new numbers out there on the field right now.
And switch the running backs. Brooks back in. Patton goes out to get himself a rest for the Saints.
So Morton will check with the sideline. Next week, Limestone opens at home. They only have 4 home games this year. Stepping up is going to be Morton, and he's going to avoid 1, get to the 20, get down to the 15, and down to the 14-yard line where it's 1st and 10 for Limestone.
I'm not sure if that was Allen on the stop. I'm trying to pick out the number over there. Exactly who that was.
I think it's Dunn.
Or possibly David Johnson.
I think it was Dunn. 29. Okay. Morton out of the gun. Brooks on his right shoulder. Hutto, the H-back, will go from right side to the left side for the Saints. Little play action. Morton looking. Under some pressure, and he's going to throw it to the back of the end zone and out of play. Smart play by Morton as he was being pressured by Jihad Russ once again. So it's 2nd down and 10 for the Saints.
Clock is stopped. 9:25 remaining here in the 4th quarter.
Next week, the Pioneers hosting UNC Pembroke, a 4 o'clock start here from Pioneer Field. And again, we'll have to kind of see how this the aftermath of all the weather situation, if Pembroke will be able, since the bus lines are kind of dictating whether they're going to be taking teams or not, rightfully so probably, to see if Pembroke will be able to make the trip. Catawba and Pembroke already canceled, so I would be willing to bet that Pembroke will do everything they can to get a game in.
Yeah, because they don't want to miss 2 games in the season.
This handoff will go to Brooks, and he'll take it inside the 15 to near the 10-yard line and gain up 4. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 6 coming up for the Saints. Actually make that 4th down and 6 for the Saints.
Whether they can travel or not, I would bet you it would be very difficult for them to even get any kind of practice reps in, because with the flooding that is pretty much inevitable in eastern North Carolina right now, just finding somewhere to get outside and practice might be difficult for them.
I was right initially. It was 3rd down. The lollipop changed to 4th inadvertently. 8. I should always trust Bobby Milburn. 3rd down and 7 at the 11. Morton to pass, and he's looking, and this one is incomplete. And I'm not really sure. Hutto was the intended target, and I know that if Cawthon or even Dunn had kind of turned their head, they've got to pick. Either way, it's 4th down for the Saints, and they're going to send out the kick team and see if Martin can put some points on the board.
You know, unless this is just a face saver or you're just wanting your kicker to get some opportunities, clearly 3 points is not going to do you much good here, but quite honestly, 7 it wouldn't either.
A good drive. 27-yard attempt just in the middle of the field, and Martin's kick is up. I don't think he got all of it, but he did get enough of it, as it's good from 27 yards. 8:39 to play. We go to a break. With your score, it's Tusculum 37 and Limestone 10. Pioneer football continues after this on the Pioneers Sports Network.
Pioneers 37. The Limestone.
So much of life these days is rushing around from one place to another. Sometimes you just want to enjoy the journey on the way to the destination. And part of what makes it a little more enjoyable is an appreciation for the folks who help you get there. At Ingalls, we know that the people who send you on your way are the same ones who keep you coming back.
I think you should take it for a spin. Are you serious?
Ingalls. All the ingredients for family.
Before there could be a nation,
And we welcome you back into Pioneer Field. Griffin Martin's 28-yard field goal officially. 13 plays, 69 yards, 4:24 off of the clock here from Pioneer Field. Martin to kick this one away. They were anticipating an onside kick, and he'll kick it out of bounds. So the Pioneers will have it at the 35-yard line. Tonight here at Pioneer Field, a special Friday night edition. We are minus one of our super fans tonight. So we would like to send out get well wishes to Mary Helen Paxton, just feeling a bit under the weather tonight. But Mary Helen, we sure hope that you are feeling much better and you'll be ready for next week and really all of the week of Pioneer Athletics coming up. But next week, the Pioneers at home against UNC Pembroke, so we hope to see you out here next week. Just noticed that Mary Helen was not in attendance here tonight, so get better tonight. A Pioneer football team that is making Mary Helen smile tonight, leading 37-10 here in this one. Out of the straight eye, new quarterback is Alex Ogle, and the same running back is Jordan Shippi. He'll take it from the 35 after the penalty as it was kicked out of bounds. He'll carry it to the 41-yard line, and it will bring up a second down and 4. Jordan Shippi basically needs to carry for the first down to establish the new school record.
If the mark was 250,
he's already got it?
That should get it because he had 244 and that was 6.
Okay.
That ties the record. He needs one more.
So let's just go ahead and just to make sure that we have it for good. And the Pioneers, they know it down there on the sideline. They know that Shippi needs just one more, and Jordan Shippi will fight and get at least that one more as he will cross the line of scrimmage and take it up to the 43-yard line to make it 3rd down and 2. And Jordan Shippi has established a new single-game record in rushing, going over 250 yards, breaking Isaac Robinson's mark 3 years ago at Isaac Robinson.
And you just witnessed it this evening.
7.5 to play in the game. In a game where no passing yards in the game. It's been all Jordan Shippi. And we're cheering a running game. Can you believe that?
A record-setting running game. You got the fans that are still here fired up and cheering for Shippi.
Jordan Shippi will get more than that and pad that lead as he will cross the first down marker across the 45 and up to the 49-yard line. And Maurice Gamillion will be the first out there to congratulate him. And he's going to run off with that ball. You can't keep the ball, Jordan. It's not the NFL. You can't keep it. Well, they're going to get in a new ball. I'm going to keep this ball.
That's right. He's got to get his collection started like Emmitt Smith whenever he was playing for the Cowboys.
Well, this Pioneer team is fired up. They played well tonight. It started last week against Shorter. Don't sell this Limestone team short. They finished 4th in the South Atlantic Conference last year. They had a lot of returning pieces from defense and on that offensive line. But they were kind of behind the 8 ball tonight without DJ Phillips and, for the most part, Jacoya Patton, who did not get the start tonight. But he has come in, and he has played quite well, to be honest with you. Jacoya Patton has rushed for over 100 yards himself.
Right, and that was most of that has been after the first half. He did get in a few reps in the first half, but most of it, I think, has been here in the second.
So jumping encroachment on Limestone, and the 5-yard mark off will take the Pioneers 1st and 5 to the Limestone 46. .650 and counting here in the game. And this Pioneer football team, Alex Ogle, who comes under center. Gamillion is the running back on 1st down and 5. Limestone assumes they're just going to run it. Ogle's going to throw it deep, and he'll throw it over the head of everybody, incomplete. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 5. Brian Ferguson still taking a chance. As Limestone kind of been told kind of the heads up, when they fall behind, they blitz every play. Let's give kudos to the offensive line for the Pioneers. They have picked up that blitz for the most part.
They really have. I don't know what the problem was on that particular play, but Brian Burnett just quit running downfield. I don't know that Ferguson so much Ogle so much overthrew him as it was Burnett just stopped.
I'll say this, the blitz was coming, and Ogle had to get rid of it in a hurry. Handoff, Gamillion, and he'll run it across the 45, and he'll take it down to about the 41-yard line. We're going to bring up a third down and about a yard, maybe 2 yards. They say he's officially down at the 42-yard line. So it's third down and 2 coming up for the Pioneers.
3rd and 2 for the Pioneers, bringing in Will Boney, maybe a blocking package here. Just try to pick up the first down and keep the clock rolling. Going to be under 6 minutes before we snap the ball.
So Ogle will run out back into the huddle. Tusculum leading at 37-10, have not been extremely efficient on third downs. Burnett is the lone wideout to the far sideline, out of the straight eye. Boney is the fullback. Johnston will move to the left side of the offensive line. And we'll hand it off. This will be Gamillion as he'll break contain 40 at the 35 to the 30, and he'll be downed at the 28-yard line. And some new numbers out there as well. Grant Coleman, a sophomore from Cincinnati, on the stop for the Limestone Saints.
Pioneers very excited. It's good to see a sideline that's pumped up about a big home victory here like this.
And I agree, because tonight you weren't sure Friday night to see if anybody was going to be able to come out and attend and make this game. And so it's good to see that we did have a crowd, and of course the Pioneers kind of put this away early here in this midway through the third quarter, I should say, and some have gone home maybe. But I would say parents that are in, it's a nice long weekend for them here.
It really is.
1st and 10, and Ogle is going to be sacked. And losing his helmet in the process is Dalton Yates. He came untouched around the left end, and he'll lose his helmet, have to sit out for a play. But a guy that has been relatively quiet, held the previous game record for tackles in a game for just 1 week, or less than a week for that matter, until Josh Simmons' appearance tonight.
Simmons, last check, he had 18. Not sure if he's gotten one again. He still is on the field, so record-setting night for that young man.
2nd down and 18 on the sack, as Ogle, with 3 wideouts in the formation, will line up at the 36, handed off to Gamillion, who runs to the left side, picks up a lot of that sacked yardage back as he'll take it to the 30. 6 yards of it back. It'll be 3rd down and 12. There is Simmons, and Simmons doing a little chirping right now, and he's had a great game, but I'm not going to be chirping down 37-10.
Yeah, the only thing you're going to be chirping about is getting the bus to get them back to Gaffney. We do have Pioneers shaking up on the play.
We do have one of the offensive linemen slow to get up for the Pioneers. Join us on Monday. We're live for the Pioneer Football Show with Pioneer coach Jerry Odom. We're live at Applebee's here in Greenville. The Pioneer Football Show with Jerry Odom begins at 7 o'clock. We'll talk about this game and preview Tusculum and Pembroke, and maybe by Monday we'll have a little better idea as to what the forecast will have for travel plans for the Braves. So we'll see that on Monday. Join us, and probably our Pioneer player of the game. Let's see. Maybe Jordan Shippi.
I don't know. Might need another run or two to pick up some yardage for you.
We might get Gamillion, too.
Hey, there you go.
I don't know. We'll just get them all. There's a good chance that Kevion Broadwater or Caleb LaFleur or Benson Napier or somebody will join us. Bailey Herring from that offensive line as well.
Jay Boyd with 2 interceptions.
Jay Boyd is a pretty good choice. 3rd down and 13 at the 31. Blitz comes. Getting rid of it was Ogle, and trying to come back and make the catch for the play is incomplete. Simmons was back there in coverage for Limestone.
Ogle's pass incomplete.
Ogle just not looking sharp on that play. He was kind of bouncing and falling backwards and just threw the ball downfield. He had his target picked out, just wasn't able to complete the pass.
Just under heavy pressure was Ogle, and Limestone starting to get some free runs at the quarterback here in this 4th quarter of action. 4:24 to play, and the Pioneers will go for it on 4th down. They've had success on 4th down so far in the game, 2 for 2. So here on 4th down and 13, Ogle looking to pass to out of the backfield, and a one-handed attempt by Gamillion, and it was well defended that time by the linebacker Mason Gilbert, and it's a turnover on downs. And the Limestone offense will come onto the field.
Gamillion certainly made a good play at it, leaping, grab up in the air. One hand almost pulled it in. Unfortunately didn't, and it's turnover on downs. Limestone will start with 4:19 left in the game.
So 4:19 in the contest, and Limestone will come out down 37-10. New running back into the game. Same quarterback as Morton will stay out there. Shenard Bain, kick returner, will get his opportunity to run it. He'll run right into the teeth of the Pioneer defense, and that's Ashton Watson, who comes up with the stop right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Brian, just looking at next week's schedule, we keep talking about UNC Pembroke. Quite honestly, Catawba at Mars Hill game will probably be fine, but Carson Newman is at Newberry, West Alabama at Limestone, Lenore Ryan at Wingate. Any of those games could be in jeopardy of not being played next week.
That's what I agree with you. I think that we have to just be very mindful of, just travel plans for some of these colleges, and what will that be like? 2nd down and 10 here as Morton back to pass out of the gun, steps up in the pocket and delivers very high as he was hit as he threw it, intended for Hutto. Isaiah Dunn was the closest receiver, and he plays in the Pioneer secondary.
It would have been an opportunity for another interception if you had somebody back there, the way that ball was just thrown up there. But I think Pioneers, if you can get out of the game with 4 interceptions, I believe it's 4, isn't it?
Yep, 4 today.
4 today. You're going to feel good about that.
Yeah. 6 turnovers total in the game. Pistone's thrown a pick 6, and he also threw another interception here in the second half as the first drive of the second half with the Pioneers driving. But Jay Boyd made up for that with his 2nd pick of the game. Morton trying to set up the screen, and it's well defended by the Pioneers. There is a flag back in the area where he threw it, and that will be for a hold going against Limestone. But the play results into 4th down and 10 for the Saints.
In this situation, Coach Odom, he is going to decline it and let Limestone bring on his punt unit.
Haven't heard a lot from Max Melton. And thankfully, he's learned how to turn off that microphone, and the wind has calmed down.
Yeah, but both of those things are good. Earlier, he left it on when the wind was blowing so hard, and we could hear it.
So the American flag here on Military Appreciation Night is not blowing in the wind because there is no wind. But our firework, I think we ran out of fireworks. we weren't shooting those things off
maybe
after school.
Maybe we're going to save them for the victory.
That's true. So 4th down, and Cook to punt it away. Good punt. Burnett is back deep. He stands at the 25. Actually, he's going to let it hit, and he's going to field it. I guess he called for a fair catch, and then he was saying it's going to hit right there. He didn't walk up to field it, so he's fortunate to catch it right at the 20. 1st and 10 for the Pioneers. A record-breaking night as Jordan Shippi. They don't have the official numbers just yet. There's a lot of our technology here tonight. Maybe if you were watching the game, you're not doing that anymore because I think the feed froze for the 2nd time tonight.
That's been an issue. So
some issues with the internet connection here. Thankfully and amazingly enough, we've stayed on, but I haven't had a connection for stats much of the evening. Maybe that was my problem when I was here trying to set that up some 6 hours ago. 3:18 on the clock. Gamillion, the running back, and he'll spin in the backfield, avoid 2, and that's Josh Simmons. And that guy just seems to make play after play. And it will be basically no gain. Instead of 17, it's actually 16, and that's Destin Middleton, a 5th-year senior from Lithonia, Georgia. It's 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10, 2:55 left in the game.
Simmons, who has established the new single-game tackle record, he's over 20. I think that would be a fair statement to be over 20. But when it's your free safety making the tackles, you've had a good night as an opposing offense. 2nd down and 10 for the Pioneers, just inside the 19-yard line, and not much running room here as Gamillion will go down behind the line of scrimmage. And a bunch of new numbers, especially on that offensive line, also out there on the field for Tusculum. Had some injuries. So Devin Morton, the backup center, out there for the Pioneers right now. Padaris, James, some of the second unit guys that getting their time here in the conference game under the lights on a Friday night. Thanks for all the fans who have come out tonight on Friday. Not a lot of our prep teams were at home. South Green, the only home team in high school football tonight. Ogle back to pass on 3rd down and 11. It will be complete on that far sideline, and that's Brian Burnett. He is your possession receiver. It's right at the 28-yard line, which is a yard shy of the first, and it's 4th down. And Andrew Cantrell, whose parents won't miss a game, might get a chance to come out and play because we haven't used Andrew tonight.
And that's a good thing whenever you don't put him in the game. You talk about teams on the road. Greenville is at Pisgah in North Carolina. West Green on the road at Johnson County, which quite honestly, Limestone may be able to get home to Gaffney, South Carolina quicker than the Buffaloes can get from Mountain City back to Mossheim.
Oh, there's a good chance for that. You know,
it's a long way.
Union County, I think, goes to Unicoi next week.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get to either one of those schools.
No, you've got to make an appointment to do that.
Union goes to Johnson County is what I meant to say. I may come out Unicoi, but it was Union to Johnson County. And either one of those schools, you just can't get there.
I had someone ask me at school day, "Are you going to the game tonight?" I said, "No, I am not."
You should have said, "Yes, I'm going to a game."
I have made enough trips to Johnson County in my life. I didn't leave anything there. If I did, I'd just buy a new one because I'm not going back for it.
Cantrell to punt it away. Cody Raw, who is 5th in the country in punt returns at 27 yards a return, will ask for and receive a fair catch at the 30. And Cantrell does his job by flipping the field, a 42-yard punt, no return. And the Limestone Saints will have the ball with 1:35 left in the game.
Only the Pioneers' second punt of the contest. First one was for 50 yards, and that was mostly roll.
Yeah, I'd say 30 yards of it was roll. Well, stay tuned after the game. We'll have our Pioneer postgame report with Pioneer coach Jerry Odom and our Pioneer players of the game, if they remember to get those. But we'll have those. Joe Bird will have some stats. We'll also have your highlights, and we'll preview Tusculum and Pembroke and let you know what's going on this weekend, which is nothing here at Tusculum except for volleyball. Queens has decided they were going to come into Greenville, and so they'll have a volleyball game tomorrow, 2 o'clock on campus.
The ball carrier.
This will be Bain. He'll carry for 2 yards. It will bring up 2nd down and 8 at the 32-yard line. Jackson Cawthon on the stop for the Pioneers. Limestone next week, they'll have their home opener at the reservation in Gaffney, South Carolina. They'll host West Alabama out of the Gulf South, and a grueling start of the year for Limestone. Morton on play action to pass. He's in trouble and he's going to go down. He might have done well to get back to the line of scrimmage. And defensively for Tusculum, that's DeAndre Milner, a sophomore out of Piedmont, South Carolina. It's 3rd down and 8.
3rd and 8, 45 seconds going. The Saints probably try to just take a couple looks at as deep as they can go here, maybe try to get something at least into the end zone to feel good about themselves.
So tonight, this Limestone defense that has allowed about 47 points a game, allow 37 to Tusculum. This will be Bain, who will take it to the 40, which should move the chains, and then is taken down rather rudely by coming into tonight the 6th leading tackler in Logan Cowart, who is going to be a very good player for this Pioneer team. Just a freshman. It's 1st and 10 Limestone.
That was power tackle right there, straight out of a wrestling move.
1st down and 10. This will be the final play of the game. 5 seconds, down to 4 seconds. If they even get it off, they will. Morton is going to hand it off to Bain. He'll be stopped by Ashton Watson, and the Pioneers win. Somewhat anticlimactic, but the Pioneers get their first conference win of the season as they avenged last year's overtime loss to the Limestone Saints. For Coach Iruli in his first season with the Saints, he's opened up at 0-3. For Tusculum, they go to 2-1 under the direction of head coach Jerry Odom, who becomes the fastest coach to reach double digits in wins in his tenure. As the head coach of Tusculum, it's taking him just under 3 years to get to double digits in wins for a career. The Pioneers, behind the running of Jordan Shippi, run all over the Limestone Saints by 27 points. Your final score, Tusculum 37 and Limestone 10. We invite you now to stay tuned for our Pioneer postgame report.
Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you? To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus? What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what families do. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.